Yes, we love this time of the night, 5 in the bin time, and we've got a very interesting topic tonight. The panel. Ray Hadley is back. We love having you back here, Ray Hadley. Our very own and a ladies' touch to 5 in the bin, Erin Molan. And it's a special treat for me, my co-host on the Big Sports Breakfast, Terry Kennedy. Very forthright. Tim Manor joins us as well. Over here, Timmy. And the big man has got his cave back. It's become the Falcons' nest tonight. How is it up there?
Yeah, look, it's a bit smelly, but other than that, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. All right, let's get into the topic. And I thought it was poignant this week. Frank Schleck, now it's a different sport, cycling, Tour de France. He goes for a diuretic. He's tested positive. But we thought we'd bring it back to rugby league. Now, we're not saying the leagueies are taking anything illegal, but where is the line in the sand, Ray? And I'm talking in terms of pain-killing injections, anti-inflammatories, painkillers of any sort. Is there an enhancement that the rugby league players are finding these days?
Well, it's a debate that's been had for about the last 30 years that I've been calling rugby league about the painkillers. There's always people talking about it. I'll leave it in the capable hands of medical practitioners. I know painkillers are banned at the Olympics, where we'll be from next week in London, but the doctors that distribute the painkillers in rugby league or administer them say that it won't make a player who's not as good as Jared Hayne play like Jared Hayne. What it will allow them to do will play at their normal level, not increase the level of performance. So it's a difficult one because it is banned. In most cases, I think codeine's allowed at the Olympics, but other painkillers you inject are not allowed. But it'll be a discussion that is on forever in regards to rugby league, I'd imagine.
TK?
Yeah, so it's the great old chestnut, isn't it? But really, painkillers are the ultimate performance-enhancing drug. Without the painkiller, that athlete is not taking that sporting field, whether it be rugby league or any other code. So that actually gets them out there. The whole problem is, where do you draw the line? What is performance-enhancing? Yes, it only restores them to being a healthy being. It doesn't give them a superhuman advantage, but at least that gets them out there and they're able to perform with the help of a drug. But where do you stop? If a bloke's got a headache, can he have a headache tablet before he goes out there? If he's got the runs, if he's got diarrhoea, is he allowed a Imodium to stop that? Now, that would be a dirty topic in Australia.
Now, TK, I've got to pull you up on this one. Why do you have to bring it down to this level? It's not TKY. But
That's what I do.
I might mention too, big man, you realise this. The last time Terry and I were on TV together was 16 years ago at Optus Vision. They went broke. Now, I don't know whether Channel 9 are prepared to gamble.
It's not the death blow.
No, it could be. I don't know. But having us together could be a problem.
But it's true. Yes, it restores them that level. But without that restoration from a drug, they wouldn't be out there at all.
Let me tell you, when you tour India, if there's no Imodium, you're not out there. You get runs of a different sort over there. Tim, you're the current player. You've played with injections. It doesn't take you beyond what you'd normally be able to do?
No, well, I think, like Ray said, you know, the medical practitioners, they're very professional these days, so they won't let you play with an injury that you can't play with. But at the end of the day, we're NRL players and our job is to play footy. So if we have an injury, and everyone's playing with injury, just different kinds, I guess. And if you can take the field and you can get the help of an injection, I think everyone's going to take it.
Yeah. Erin?
Yeah, I think it's really important to point out that, first of all, I don't think the NRL has a problem with performance-enhancing drugs, unlike the Tour de France. I think it's, you know, it is a strength sport and the code's been really, really good in stamping that out early. Guys are tested sometimes twice a week, you know, once a fortnight. Testing happens all the time, but I think you're right, TK, in terms of where you draw the line. You've got to look at community standards, like would we consider that amount of, you know, of Panadol or painkillers or whatever they're using acceptable in the community, same as sleeping pills.
Or a caffeine tablet to get you up before a match.
Exactly. And then you look at, you know, I know that doctors are doing this, but doctors are under a lot of pressure from coaches, from admin staff, from CEOs to get players back out there, because some of these guys are on $500,000 a year. If they're not playing, that club's not getting their money's worth. But where's the duty of care?
Aaron, they won't administer it if it makes the injury worse. I mean, we are debating as 4-5 lay people here against people who've had 10 years of training as medical professionals. That's what they are. So we're putting ourselves at odds with them. If Tim's got an injury that would be aggravated by playing, they won't give him a painkiller. No matter what Tim or no matter what, I don't know who the coach is at the moment, but no matter who the coach is at Parramatta, they won't let Tim play. The doctor will assess him and say, look, he can't do any more damage to that ankle. he's okay to play. Give him a painkiller and get him out there.
But then surely long-term use of the amount of sleeping pills that these players are taking and painkillers, that can't be good for you long-term.
No, and long-term effects. There's some studies now coming out of the United States of America regarding painkillers, and the problem being is the addiction to painkillers for athletes, and even tragically some leading to some suicides and deaths. They're not too sure about the results yet, but it's the addiction to painkillers which is the crucial point.
I don't know if we've got that level. Yeah, Big Man, you played through the pain barrier back in the 80s.
Big Man, how did you get through the anabolic steroid use? How did you not get detected?
Well, I'm off them now.
I can tell you.
Let me ask you a question. Is it true they shrink everything?
Well, Ray, not everything.
And unfortunately...
But most of the important things they shrink. Don't worry about that. I'm glad I'm on this panel.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have a problem with them. Seriously, I don't have a problem. I think headache tablets, painkillers, I don't have a problem with it.
And I know the 5 minutes are up. Tim, I just want to ask you very quickly about the drug testing at the moment. Australia vigilant in all sports, and in rugby league at the moment. How many times have you been tested this year?
I reckon last year I got close to about 6 times getting tested. They're very strict, and I think as a country, our culture is very good when it comes to drug cheats, and it's not very much encouraged. So I think we're good in that in our country.
And blood testing now, mate, and they're going to store that for 8 years, they say, with the permission of the players.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll still be playing around after 8 years' time. But
I think in 8 years most will be retired.
They started blood testing this year, so you do your urine and your blood at the same time.
I think we can say that the worst thing about a dope test is if you actually pass it. You're better off to fail it. So let's hope we pass the dope test here.
No, he's just
there he is.
He's got
going.
it.
He's going. Bang! Haven't finished 5 in the bin. OK, right. Now, we've spoken about it earlier in the show, and we're talking Parramatta Eels here, and there is a coaching issue, and I know you've been very outspoken with regard to the Eels a couple of weeks ago, and now this is Ray Spray, and we've got a new opener this week. It was Ray's rant last week. It's Ray Spray this week. There it is. Ray Spray. Thank you, TC. Over to you, Ray.
I want the introduction by Daryl.
Ray, if you're going to do a spray or a rant, I want you to open up with, right. So do that.
OK. There's no need to. You did. Parramatta, as everyone knows now, have parted company with their coach, Stephen Kearney. I feel terribly sorry for Tim and the playing roster. I don't feel sorry for the board. The board have now sacked 2 coaches in 2 years. Anderson got on the grand final. The only reason Anderson was sacked was because he was employed by the former CEO, Dennis Fitzgerald. That was the only reason he was sacked. They brought in a first-season coach in Stephen Kearney, whose performances have been less than satisfactory. There's no doubt about that. But this attempt by the board now buys them another 3 years. So we've had a 3-year plan that didn't work. So we get another 3-year plan that may or may not work. And the only coach available is Ricky Stewart. Yeah. They can't go after young Jason Taylor. They can't go after someone who hasn't been tried before because they've done that with Kearney. So if they don't get Stewart, I don't know who they get. Maybe they come back and get Daniel Anderson. He's available at the moment, but that it's unlikely he'd want to be employed by these people again. So we've got this hiatus at Parramatta where we've got that plan didn't work. The next plan may or may not work. We'll get to the year 2022, and we'll still be hearing from the same board about we've got this 5-year plan which has turned into a 10-year plan, which will be a 12-year plan, which will be a 15-year plan. And the losers are all the Parramatta fans, the players. And I won't involve Tim in this because he's a tremendous player and a tremendous young man, but it must be very difficult to be a Parramatta fan and a Parramatta player at this particular time because of their inept and dysfunctional board. Their performance, the board's performance has matched that of the players' performance on the field under Stephen Kearney, which has been less than satisfactory in 2012. And I really appeal to all you Parramatta supporters, both here in the crowd and there at home, you need to do something about it sooner rather than later.
That was great. Thank you to everyone for being involved in 5 of them in. Thank you, Ray. Well, last Friday night, Lauren Eagle won her world title boxing bout, and it's a huge congrats to Lauren. Well, here she